I wanted to do something else on the channel here, drop another lore video with Dragen Somner's poem because it uses a lot of Middle and Old English. Not to insult the audience's intelligence, because I know you're smart people. It's just that this language isn't used anymore, and I wanted to clear up exactly what it means. Let's read it, shall we? In Haim and in doubt withered love dies, in Wolsen he came, equal we die. In Old English, Haim means in home or home, village, estate, dwelling place, etc. It suggests a domestic intimacy or the hearse, the supposed sanctuary now invaded by dread. And in doubt is self-explanatory. It carries an older sense of dread, uncertainty, or perilous hesitation. Mine withered love dies. Mine withered love dies. Mine is archaic Middle English for mine. Withered love, of course you understand that, evokes a sense of vital beloved now desecrated, decayed, or spiritually drained. A revenant or an astral puppet. In Wolsen he came. Wolsen, we'll see what that means in a moment. In the clouds, under the sky. Wolsen means cloud, sky, heavens. It's poetic for the firmament or stormy skies. He, in this sense, implies a celestial or otherworldly entity. That's why there's the accent mark over the E. Not from earthly roads, but descending from the void between the stars. Eagful we die. E-G-E-E means fear, terror, awe. Fearful, terrible, we die. Eagful, full of terror, dreadful. The plural we binds speaker and listener, or the couple, in shared doom. We will now read the line in modern English. Here in home and in heart's doubt, my withered love life forsook. In the clouds he advanced. Terrorful we all perish in pain and in black death. I wanted the opening line to be strong and evocative. It sets the entire poem's tone of cosmic intrusion into the intimate. It's domestic horror versus cosmic scale. The line begins grounded in Haim, the safe domestic sphere, and immediately collapses into cosmic dread in Wolsen. The beloved's death is not natural, but precipitated by a sky-descended entity. It's classic in folklore, and it's a Lovecraftian device, where the heavens are not benevolent, but predatory. It's personal to collective doom. It opens with mine withered love, intimate possession, but swiftly shifts to we die. The speaker's tragedy is not solitary. It spreads like a contagion to all who hear or witness it. This mirrors the story's theme of those who dwell in darkness, whisperers that turn listeners into vessels. Linguistic decay is horror. Using Wolsen, Eagful, mine, and Haim gives the verse a genuine Anglo-Saxon gravitas, while the mixed spelling doubt instead of the pure OE mirrors the poem's fractured mind. Language itself is breaking down under otherworldly pressure. At the emotional core, the withered love is not merely dead, but transformed. In the broader story, this foreshadows the marionette motif. The beloved is not gone, but remade by astral forces into something that stalks the speaker through memory. The single line functions as a perfect microcosm of the whole work. Love corrupted by the unknowable, the home violated by the sky, the individual swallowed into collective terror. I wanted it to be a strong, atmospheric opener worthy of classic weird fiction. In angst and horror, we wade in grief. We live in sable, in tow soiled in blood. Now let's analyze what this actually means. In angst and in horror, we wait. It's the modern angst, deep anxiety, existential dread, paired with horror, terror, revulsion. The waiting is passive, yet inevitable, a lingering moment rather than sudden doom. In grief, we live. In Old English, grave means grave, pit, or tomb. We live in the grave subverts natural order, not dead, not alive, but trapped in a liminal burial state, buried alive, undead, psychically interred. In sable, Old English sable, is the soul, spirit, life force. The soul itself is the medium or prison of this existence. In toes soiled in blood. Toes, feet caked or soiled in blood evokes physical desecration, stumbling through gore, feet literally drenched in the aftermath of violence, or the soul. Sewell. In body, toes, both corrupted. The users in Sewell, in toes, suggest a fractured listing, living in the grave, in the soul, with toes fouled in blood. In modern English, this was translated as, in anguish and terror we abide and wait. In the grave we groan in grime life, with soul defiled in toes twain, in blood defiled, besmirched in pain. This line deepens the poem's descent from cosmic intrusion into embodied claustrophobic undeath. Once again, its liminal existence. We live in the grave, collapses life and death. It is not peaceful rest, but active suffering, waiting in horror while already entombed. This mirrors the story's marionette motif. The beloved, once again, and by extension the speaker, is neither fully gone nor free, but remade and trapped between planes. Its classic soul-body corruption by invoking Sewell, the immortal essence, alongside the grotesque physical detail of blood-soiled toes. The line being spiritual and corporal violation. The soul is not elevated, but dragged into the mud and gore of the grave. The toes suggest futile movement, crawling or wandering through blood-drenched ruins, tying into the radioactive abandonment town setting at the opening of the story. Its collective doom, the shift to we, expands the curse. Dragen's personal loss becomes a shared fate for all who encounter the whispers of the poem itself. Those who dwell in darkness infect listeners, pulling them into this grave soul existence. It's just a visceral horror technique. The archaic spellings, grave, Sewell, and fragmented syntax evoke a mind and manuscript both decaying. The blood on the toes grounds the cosmic horror in raw, tactile revulsion. You can almost feel the sticky warmth and smell the iron. This stanza functions as the poem's visceral core. After the celestial arrival comes the intimate, unending consequence. Eternal entombment of both body and soul, and a bloodied half-life. Maratus bonds us in both bliss and blasphemy, in regions foreign to heaven and hell. It functions as an enigmatic, proper name for the astral midwife-like entity. Maratus, a coined or Latin-flavored name. In Latin, Maratus, husband, bridegroom, or a corruption of merit, maritu, as an earned fate or responding force. In context, it is the personified cosmic entity or midwives that binds and remakes souls. Bonds us, binds, fetters, unites, change. Old English, binding, implies both marriage like union and enslavement. In both bliss and blasphemy, it's a paradoxical duality of bliss and blasphemy, twisted with blasphemy, sacrilege, profanation. The bonding mixes pleasure with desecration. In regions foreign to heaven and hell, places utterly outside Christian cosmology. Neither divine reward nor infernal punishment, but alien, liminal dimensions, foreign. Modern English translation. Maritu bound us in murmuring and in glory, in bliss and blasphemy bound in bonds, in alien realms far from heaven and hell, where neither God nor ghostly grimness rules. This line marks the poem's cosmological and philosophical core, shifting from personal domestic horror and grave-bound suffering into a metaphysics of alien transcendence through violation. The entity as false bridegroom, Maritus Maritu, evokes a perverse husband or cosmic midwife that bonds or spawns souls. It parodies sacred marriage, Christ as bridegroom in Christian tradition, by uniting lovers not in salvation but in blasphemous ecstasy. The beloved's transformation into a marionette is the entity's handiwork, a forced marriage across dimensions. It's a paradox of bliss and blasphemy. The bonding is not purely tormenting, it contains bliss. This creates deeper unease. Victims experience forbidden pleasure amid horror, making resistance psychologically harder. It suggests the entities seduce as much as they devour, feeding on both suffering and corrupted joy. It's beyond heaven and hell, beyond biblical. This is the most Lovecraftian touch, in my opinion. Traditional afterlife binaries are irrelevant. The regions foreign lie in an outer void where human morality, physics, and theology dissolve. These are the dwelling places of the titular those who dwell in darkness, predatory consciousness that lures souls for unknown purposes, marionette armies feeding or reshaping. The narrative function follows the grave and the blood imagery. This line explains why the lovers remain trapped. The poem is not mere lament, but a revelation. Dragen's loss was an initiation into these alien realms. The us, again, universalizes the curse. Listeners risk the same bonding. This stanza elevates the story from visceral body horror to existential cosmic dread. The archaic tone and fractured syntax make the revelation feel like a half mad, half inspired prophecy scrawled from the other side. And that's it for this piece of Advent lore. Explore the channel. Find more scary stories here at Advent Wrath.